Good evening, and welcome to Shuffletime, here, on YouTube at least. This week we look at the random list for the past month for March, including the likes of Dart44, Tristian from the TMI broadcast, the Kexman, and the lovable duck that is known as Kae. We go from wide-ranging topics from anywhere from eateries to just your plain and simple archetypes. If you guys have any questions for us, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, sit back and relax for the random list for the month of March. Enjoy. And welcome back to Shuffle Time here on Justin TV. It's that time, folks. It's time for the random list. And since Tristian is a veteran, and I'm a polite and gracious host, Tristian, you are welcome to go first.
Alrighty, this may be interesting because I'm not sure you're even going to want to answer this one, or if you can answer this one, but I've got some backup, so if you can't, or don't want to, we'll go from there. But the question is, what are 3 songs you would like to see covered by William Shatner?
LMFAO. I'm sexy and I know it. The F.U. Fuck You by CeeLo Green.
CeeLo Green.
And what was the other one? I had it in my head the other day that it would just make no bloody sense. Oh, White and Nerdy.
That would actually be rather good.
That would be hysterically funny. So are you prepared for me?
As prepared as I'm going to be.
Alright. You are a connoisseur of video game stuff, are you not?
I'd like to think so, hosting a broadcast about it, yes.
Alright. I'll give you a question up your alley this week. Say you got stuck in the video game world as it's translated into the world. As in how video games look at Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., that kind of thing, right?
Okay, yeah.
Tell me what 3 areas of the world you would like to explore through the eyes of a video game. Only use 1 video game per city, and you have to go all over the world.
Alright, going to say, I try to remember the name. There is, in San Andreas, you've got the 3 cities. What's San Francisco called in that game?
San Fierro.
Yes, I'd like to do San Fierro as GTA portrays it.
That's 1.
Alrighty. What else? I could do another GTA, but I'm going to try and avoid that and try and think of a different game. What else are there? Oh, I know. Pet. Yeah. This is me making sound effects. It helps me think. There's a game called. It's a heist game. I can't remember what. It's some British game which is like creates this huge area of London, like street to street. I can't remember. It's an old console game. Had a sequel called Black Monday. God, I can't even remember what it's. Blah.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name of it, but I know what you're talking about.
The game itself wasn't very good, but yes, your wife and daughter get kidnapped or one of them gets shot, I don't know. But London, as created by that game, I'd like to explore.
Okay.
And probably, last one, probably a bit of an obvious one. Vegas, in the future, after a nuclear holocaust, I would like to explore as in Fallout New Vegas.
Ah, very nice, very nice.
I'm ready.
And welcome back to Shuffle Time here on Justin TV. Kex's timing is so perfect sometimes.
My timing is perfect to the nanosecond in expressions like this.
And it's time for, as we affectionately call it, torture time here on Shuffle Time. It is the random list. Kex, are you prepared?
I'm prepared, I think. I've just heard the bing of my microwave to sort of say to me that my Cumberland pie is ready. So as an Englishman, I would say I'm prepared.
My question to you is this. What are your 3 favorite drinking games?
Ooh, 3 favourite drinking games. Interesting. Personally, I would say that in no particular order, because you can never put a drinking game top. In no particular order. One of them is Fuzzy Duck. Are you aware of the sort of rules of Fuzzy Duck?
Enlighten me.
Essentially, Fuzzy Duck is you have one person that is nominated as the starter, and they say Fuzzy Duck. To their left, the next person says Fuzzy Duck. To their left, the next person says Fuzzy Duck. This carries on until someone says Duzzy. Then it carries round saying, I believe it is... I'm trying to think. Essentially, it is Fuzzy Duck again. Carries on going around. Fuzzy Duck, Fuzzy Duck, Fuzzy Duck, Fuzzy Duck. Duzzy, Ducky Fuzz, Ducky Fuzz, Ducky Fuzz, Ducky Fuzz, Ducky Fuzz. Carries on around like that until one person screws up and says the eternal Duzzy, and then, essentially they screw up. If they screw up, they take their drink and they finish it. That is number 1 of my personal favourite drinking games. Number 2 is very similar, but also at the same time very confusing. And I haven't played this very often, so I do apologise if the rules completely escape me at this time. Essentially what happens is you have, say, 4 or 5 people playing it at the same time. You decide how many numbers you want to play with. So, for example, if you're playing with 4 people, you might decide to only play with 20. So, you get 4 people, all with 1 hand in. 1 hand equaling 5 fingers, which equals 20, or you might say 30. So you might get 2 people with 2 hands in, 2 people with 1 hand in, equaling 30. At the end of the day, your team has to equal the number that is specified. Up until this point, you can bluff. So if someone says, I believe you have 2 fingers showing equal to the amount of talent that is available, then you can potentially say, okay, I have 3 fingers available, proving them wrong, which means they have to drink. I'm not going to lie, all of these drinking games are very confusing, and even while sober, they are especially difficult, which means that they are perfect for rugby drinking games. Now, the third drinking game is massively well known across the globe as the Ring of Fire. Each area has different drinking codes in regards to this, so I'm not going to go into them because I could potentially be here until next shuffle time. There are that many rules. It all revolves around cards. So if you drink the wrong card, guess what? You're going to drink whatever is in that jug. And if our drinking rules are anything to go by, in that jug could be a massive amalgamation of anything. Now the question is, I've just said what my favourite 3 drinking games are to Mr. Davlen here. The interesting thing is, what could my question potentially be to Davlen? Now,
bring it on, boy.
I've never visited America per se. I have never been to any of their eateries. I've never truly had a taste in regards to their culinary expertise per se. Now, to Davlen, I would say, of the top 3 in your local region that are countrywide chains, what would be your top 3 to eat at?
Countrywide?
Countrywide. So, Burger King, McDonald's, Popeyes, Subway, anything that you can pretty much find across the country, not your personal state.
Okay, that rules out one that I recommend to you because it's not here nationally. It's slowly going nationwide, but it takes forever. Let me see here. First, I would recommend... I know the great Alton Brown says it's where Southern food goes to die, but I'm easy. So the place I would recommend first would be Cracker Barrel, which is all sorts of stuff stewed and deep fried. Next on my list, let me think. Another place that I can't do without, that I always enjoy, that me and my brother craved for a while since we didn't have it when we were living in New Hampshire, was Sonic. There's something about the place that we just really miss and really enjoy, and it's a lot of fun for us. And we just really missed it until we moved back. That was one of the first places we went when I moved back here and my brother was helping me move, was we hit the first Sonic we knew of.
I've heard good things about Sonic, to be honest. I mean, Sonic I nationally recognise with Sonic the Hedgehog, but Sonic Burgers I've heard good things about.
And finally, it's basically national, although it's not everywhere it needs to be. It is Dunkin' Donuts. There's something about Dunkin' Donuts that is just awe-inspiring. I really love their hot chocolate.
That is one thing that is never really registered over here in England. The closest that we get to proper donuts, I would say, would be something, for example, the theme park donuts that we get. Apart from that, nothing comes close to some of the stuff that you people have over in America.
Yes, but the things of the basic... there's a lot more, at least, general bakeries than I would find here in the States. They would be better found off in Europe.
That is very, very true. I think probably the top two bakeries that I've been to have both been at sort of festivals for one and theme parks for another. They seem to be the only places in the country that do proper American, if you will, ring donuts with coffee, which is something that you really associate with America.
There was one more I should have added, but those were my top three. Oh well. It's that time, folks. It's time for the random list. And since I am always a gracious host, Tristan, you're welcome to go first.
Right, but before I do, let me apply a retroactive explicit language warning on the last two songs I played. Probably shouldn't have mentioned that before, but whatever, too late now. Random list time. Okay, my question for you, Davlen. I won't say what top three, but just list which three bands or performers or singers do the best video clips for their songs. It's an incredibly broad topic, I know, but there you go.
One would be Weezer. Weezer actually puts out a DVD every so often with their back videos, but also a whole bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff. They do a web series for a lot of their stuff where it's Q&A. They've done a cruise where they have a whole bunch of stuff. So they do a lot of good things with video. Two would be Weird Al. Weird Al does a whole lot of video production with not only his shows, but everything he does. He has a YouTube channel that he actually puts stuff up on occasionally of some random stuff he runs across all the time. It's rather fun and interesting and just a grand old time had by all. And the other one, I want to say Green Day. Green Day does a lot of quality videos that are always interesting and always have an interesting thing to say when they're done.
Cool.
Okay, as for you, My question to you this week is a fairly simple one. You're down there in Australia, right?
That's correct.
My question to you is, what 3 people would you like to have as roommates from any country?
Ooh, that's interesting. First one off the top of my head. See, the problem is, if you bring someone really famous and clever down, I kind of feel dwarfed by them, so don't know if I want to say David Mitchell or not, because David Mitchell is an incredibly talented comedian, very smart guy, host of a series I've been listening to recently, Radio 4, I should know this. Whatever. Oh, yes, The Unbelievable Truth. Anyway, fantastic guy. You might know him from the Mitchell and Webb Show or Peep Show or anything like that. So that would be 1. 2. Okay, you covered. Heading over to the US would be the most likely next place. Actually, no, I'm going to go up to Canada, and I'm going to say... This is going to be a bit weird, but Emily Haynes, she's a musician. Don't know if you know of Metric, Canadian indie group, did some stuff on the Scott Pilgrim soundtrack. Really talented musician, indie artist. So yeah, she's number 2. Number 3, ooh, let's see. What countries do I have left? Well, everything but either UK and Canada, I suppose. Going with America, and I will say American comedian by the name of Arj Barker, who comes down to Australia a lot anyway, so does some really funny stand-up. So yeah, there you go. Arj Barker, David Mitchell, Lane's roommates.
It's the torture time, folks. It is the random list. Kae, are you ready for this?
I guess as ready as I'll ever be? Is that a good diplomatic answer?
Diplomacy check passed.
Yay, me.
So, Kae, my question to you. You have been known for a duck to me as long as I've ever known you, from every incarnation I have worked in any place you have been. So my question to you, what are your 3 favorite meat dishes?
3 favorite meat dishes?
Yes, dishes that have meat.
Well, this is generally an easier area for me, though I don't have specific dishes. I know I have specific kinds of meat that I enjoy eating. It's gonna throw you a bit of a loop. If I am in fact a duck, my favorite meat would have to be chicken, but I'm really, really boring in that regard. Generally something in a white sauce with some pasta. I'm thinking about making something like that tonight. With it, I also not with the same dish, but I also enjoy beef because steak is yummy. Though I have never really fully appreciated or learned to appreciate the prime cuts of beef with more fat, more, melt in your mouth kind of meat. I'm weird. I like my meat a bit chewy, but that's because I like jerky. Which would be my 3rd one, but no, that's just a subset of meat. Pork. Specifically bacon, because, who hates bacon? And if you hate bacon, you need to, go to a different country, because bacon is the best thing. Everything is better with bacon. So much so that Americans have made bacon-flavored ice cream. I've never tried. I don't know if I would like. Willing to try out of sheer morbid curiosity. Generally speaking, if there's a dish and it has some meat in it, and as long as it doesn't have, mushrooms, because I don't really understand the logic of eating something that can and in fact does grow on poo. As long as it doesn't have mushrooms, I'm good.
America loves
meat,
bacon
better.
so much. We have kosher bacon flavoring.
America's also the country behind Baconaise.
Bacon and mayo.
I totally accept that, even though I never actually eat mayo. If I did, I would want Baconaise, because, come on. How do you not want baconaise if you like bacon and you eat mayo?
All right, Kay. What's your question for me?
Well, I'm generally pretty terrible at figuring out what to ask people, so I thought about it for a bit and sort of settled on something that I think is applicable. Hopefully it has not been asked before. But if you had a choice, Mr. Music Man, having heard lots of different kinds of music, what 3 artists would you never want to hear again, and why?
Oh. Britney Spears. She can go away now.
But she wants to go all the way.
She can go away. She's made her money. Go do the responsible thing for the rest of society. Raise your kids not to be criminals or, hopefully, musical artists.
I don't know. Have you seen your kids' parents?
Have you seen
It's kind
her
of
as a
failure on
parent?
both sides in that regard. No, I mean Britney Spears' kids' parents, aka Britney and
Kevin?
whatever her husband. Yeah, not exactly the best role models on both sides.
Let's hope the kids turn out well despite it.
I would say put them in the adoption system, but that's probably even worse.
In America, yes. Yes, it is.
So, besides Britney,
Paula Abdul. I'm tired of seeing her. I hate American Idol with a passion, and everything associated with it, particularly her. I'm sick of her. Enough. Retire.
in her defense, she hasn't been on American Idol for a while, I think.
It was too much. Too long.
But she loves everyone!
And some of the contestants, I know.
Ooh.
Alright, and number 3. What I'm about to say will probably be a standard answer for some people, but to some people I will be looked at with ire, suspicion, and wanting the pitchforks thrown at me. Justin Bieber, please go away.
Don't you love him, though? He's the greatest!
Someone give him
I'm
a
not even
buzz
going
cut.
to try to do the scream.
Someone give him a buzz cut and make him go away.
I don't believe he has mop hair anymore. I don't think he has for a while.
No, still needs to be a buzz cut. Send him to the army for a little while, make him go away.
But he's given us such fantastic contributions to culture and society, such as Baby, Baby, Baby.
Each baby is another gun that should be loaded to my head for having to listen to it.
Hey, he's over 18 now. He could be conscripted.
True.
Wait, but he's Canadian. Damn, that means we'd have to have conscription. Why don't you guys just take him? You guys already took Celine Dion.
No, she's still Canadian. She just happens to live in Vegas.
Yeah, you've adopted her. We don't want her anymore.
Uh,
You know how common law works? Yeah, that's what happens with Celine Dion in Vegas. She's been there long enough. She's an honorary American.
American.
And after all, she larves everyone there.
It's time, folks, for the torture section of our show. It is the random list. This is essentially where we get to put the other person on the spot and see if they squirm, or at least have a quick wit. Are you prepared, Dart?
Born ready.
Alright, Dart, my question to you. In all of the world, what 3 people would you like to see get blown up in TF2?
3 people? Like, as in they're playing the game or they're in the game?
They've suddenly appeared in the game, and you are heavy.
I'm a heavy and I want to blow up. Well, I'd like to kill Notch and steal his hat.
Okay, that's one.
It'd be fun to frag Day 9.
If you can get D&D off of his foot, that's 2.
And I don't know. Someone I would really want. Well, I'd like to. Well, this happens often, but there's a man by the name of Dusk in my usual TF2 server who plays Spy, and I play Heavy, and you can imagine the relationship we have.
You're not president of this fan club?
No, I'm a member of the Kill It on Sight club, and then continue to shoot until you see him die again because he uses the Dead Ringer, and it's a whole parade.
Ah, okay. That's 3. What do you got?
Alright, here's a question for you. Mass Effect 3 is coming out. If you could only save 3 squad members, which 3 do you pick?
Tally.
Well, that's obvious. So I should have really asked which 2 do you pick, but yeah.
Liara?
Alright, interesting. Why is that?
She looks like she could not only give you all the information you would ever need, especially after you finished her DLC, but have a constant stream of resources to make your life comfortable, interesting, and she swings both ways.
That is all well and good, but what if she ever decided, that she didn't like you anymore? Then what?
Well, I'd probably be dead by
That's
the
a lot
time
of-
that happened.
That's a lot of power to leave in somebody's hands you're not sure you trust.
True. Although number 3 will be there to help me.
Oh, who's that?
Martin Sullis.
Morton Solus, really? Well, how's he gonna help you?
Let's just say he could probably figure out a way to be able to control everything. If you give him enough
Yeah,
time,
maybe.
he could research just about anything.
That's true. He's a perfect example of a scientist Solarian.
And he's not a bad singer.
Nope, not at all. See, a list like that with me would be tough because I really like that Thane character. He's like awesome.
He's
Best assassin there is.
He reminds me of that in some Japanese samurai movies. There's always one honorable ninja that kills people but has a conscience, and that people hate. He's technically a bad guy, but people love him.
Yeah, that's the kind of that's a really nice character archetype that I really like.